Alrighty, welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode 258. This I'm reviewing the 258th episode of the series, the Uzumaki Hot Springs Trip. Yes, Family Hot Springs Trip. That's the name of this episode. This episode starts off with Shikamaru. Yes, Shikamaru. He just basically filling for Naruto, and then Mari shows up, making her first appearance in the series since the Steam Ninja Scroll stuff. And there's a reference to that particular arc because basically it's confirmed in this episode that the hot springs the Uzumaki family are going to is the same hot spring that she went to back in the Steam Ninja Scrolls arc. Yep, they confirmed that here just by her looking at it. Oh yeah, that's the same one I went to. All about an armored warrior incident. Yeah, with, of course, mentioned about Guy and Kakashi, which is interesting to say the least. And then we have the Uzumaki family arriving at the particular place. And, yeah, and of course they go inside. They walk by a series of statues. One, of course, has been slashed with a little slash mark on it. This is probably something that did happen. It's been a while since I've watched the Ninja Scrolls. I think it was Mari who did that. I think it's been a year or two since I watched this arc, so I'm vaguely remembering exactly this particular arc. So they walk by, like, oh, here's the room, and then we have a cut. Yes, where it seems like they're in a room for like less than like a minute, and they're already in their robes. Yep, they're already in their robes. All 5 of the Uzumaki family members, which is interesting. They do have a brief flashback of basically Boruto just telling Kawaki, you're going with us no matter what. Stuff like that. It's a brief scene. And of course they play ping pong, because of course they do, because it's a hot spring, gotta play ping pong. Not the first time I come across where you have ping pong. Now, in the case of ping pong being Naruto, this seems a bit weird, given the fact it's a ninja world. I get the fact having a hot spring. That's not the issue here. The issue is basically the ping pong. I have seen this pop up in a few different anime when they have hot spring stuff. Like, this popped up in, let's see. This popped up in Case Closed, obviously. But not many per se. And also, one thing they did not do this one, that is very common with Hot Springs episodes, have the pervert, part of this group, peep on the girls. That's the usual case for these ones. But no, not this one. As a matter of fact, here's the thing that's really kind of bummer for this one. You don't see the girls in the hot spring. Nope. No Hinata, no Himawari in the hot spring. This might make it could have been brief. Nope, no appearance of them in the hot spring. You see them in the robe. Not in the hot spring. You expect to see that. I mean, you saw the guys in the hot spring. Why not include it with the girls? Nope. No siree. For some reason, they could not show it. I don't know. This is Parrot's fault. I have no idea. Because, like, they play ping pong, and then, of course, they spend time in the hot spring. They have dinner, and then, of course, go in the hot spring, relax there for a bit, and these sort of endurances are there for quite a while. And, of course, Kawaki and Boruto read together at the same time. And, of course, then we have Naruto playing the X cards card game, which is interesting, though, because all the people on those cards are his friends. And one thing I remember about these cards is that a lot of the male characters got their own cards, and yet here's a strange thing. There's no card for Sakura, there's no card for Hinata, or even Ten, or even any of the females from the series, just the guys. I mean, is the guy who makes his game sort of sexist against the women of the series? I don't know, the women basically contribute as much stuff basically the guys did. Heck, I'm sure Hinata wouldn't mind seeing basically her husband's card, or I don't know, how about her card? But it was nice to see Himawari basically play this card game. Especially since this is actually a pastime for Boruto too, aside from playing video games, is to play this very card game. And we have Boruto and Kawaki just go on a scavenger hunt. Yes, going to various paintings, a statue. The first painting is basically an eye moving around. And then moving to a beautiful weeping woman. And you get to paint it like, that is a big fat lie. I mean, I don't mind Weeping Woman, but man, this one looks ugly, this painting. Yeah, and then, of course, the spooky thing with this is the creaky board. The first painting, move around the eyes. Third one was just basically his floor. And then here was a statue with hair. And it turns out the hair is just iron sandwich with magnetism. That's it. And the prize is a commemorative photo. And of course, Himawari wants all five of them. And of course, okay. And then all five of them, yes, all five of them sleep in the same room together. Okay, now couldn't these people just give them like a room that had two separate rooms, like one for the kids, one for the girl, one for the parents? Nope, all five of them have to sleep on the floor. And here's the order they slept: Hinata, Himawari, Boruto, Kawanaki, and Naruto. Interesting, they line up basically with two girls and all three guys like this, which is interesting. And then we see that they all basically chat. We have Hinata and him are already asleep. We see the guy just briefly chatting. And we see the Iron Ghost the whole episode. He just spooks them, of course, and they leave. And then that's the episode. Next episode is basically focused on Mitsuke. When I say he's not been participating in team missions since the Hidden Mist arc. Well, given the fact he did practically jack squat during that arc. Yeah, seriously, he did practically nothing. Like, he did a little less than Sada did. Sada was practically useless in that arc. Yes, this is an okay episode. The biggest disappointment about this episode is that Hinata Himawari, you have them there, two great characters, and the episode does nothing with them. You bring these two in. They've not been seeing the series in quite a while, and you do nothing with them. I mean, yeah, you see Hinata playing ping pong with the boys, and having him had the adorable Himawari being the ref, but that was the only thing they did the entire episode. You don't see him in the hot spring, which that would have been nice to see. I mean, in the case of Hinata, when was the last time anybody see her without basically seeing her anything shoulderless? That very rarely happens. I mean, when was the last time we ever saw that in the series? No, seriously, when was the last time we saw any of her skin aside from her face and her hands? Yeah, probably not since Naruto Shippuden. That was probably the last official time they did this. But I kind of wish they would do something with it, but nope, they didn't. It's almost like it's just a big, humongous disappointment of, how should I put this? It's like this episode was mostly a disappointment in the form of the girls not doing much the whole episode. Like, they're at the start of it, and it seems like, though, the previous episode didn't want to do anything with the girls at all. It's like, they briefly show up again in the episode or something, and the rest of the episode, I get the fact focusing on the guys, but you could, I don't know, have some stuff focused on the girls. You could show them briefly in the hot spring, just relaxing. Nope, we can't show that for some reason. Yes, I get the fact Hinata is married and Himawari is like 10, but I've seen other series that show 10-year-old girls in the hot spring. They don't show fully nude per se, but they're in the hot spring. Do that. Nope, God forbid we do that. I mean, heck, Case Closed did this, an episode where, like, you have the girls and hot spring. Was this series so difficult? I mean, this series has almost before with 10 and Mari back in the 10 Ninja Scrolls arc. That was great. But here, it's kind of like they're just there. I mean, me personally, I would love to see them. Heck, I would have loved to see Naruto and Hinata sharing a hot spring together. That would have been nice. Nope. Gotta focus on the two boys. Gotta develop their characters. Instead of, the whole thing is called Uzumaki Family Trip. We don't have to generally focus on just the two boys, Boruto and Kawanaki. You could focus on the other characters. I mean, Naruto himself gets barely anything to do in this episode. I saw I played ping pong and cards. Yeah. So, yeah. Not much to say about this, but next week should be a little more interesting than this one. I was really looking forward to this one, and I was disappointed. Yeah, this episode was a disappointment. Yeah, because of the simple reason that the episode focuses way too much on Boruto and Kawanaki. That's my biggest problem with the episode, is to focus way too much on them. I mean, I get the Boruto was the star of this series. Fine. But have the other characters do something aside from being there for side pieces? Yes. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for particular review. Next one's gonna be Super Sentai. Hope we get a chance to do more another review of this and that. Okay, next video. Bye.